All right, I think we're live. Welcome everybody. I always do these unscheduled, impromptu live streams, but I figured it'd be a good day to come on just to say hi, see how everybody's doing. It's kind of a nice day. It's a nice time in the market. It's always nice to come on when the market's green, and I know a lot of people from the channel have still been basically dollar cost averaging going in, and so hopefully paying off. Hopefully this can continue. So I titled this Uptober. I've been reading a lot of the comments about October being a good month typically for the market, so maybe this will continue. We'll see. So if you are here, if anybody's here, feel free, jump in the chat, ask a question, leave a comment. Always appreciated as we go through here. So I've just been kind of checking in. Let me share my screen to see what's going on today. Everything in my portfolio is in the green. So let me just pull up my screen share. I won't share the portfolio, but I'll share just the market in general, and we'll bring that on in here, and let's add this. So yeah, we're green today. It's kind of nice to see. And yesterday, so I don't know if anybody had a chance. I did leave a questions on my community tab, and a few people bought a few things yesterday, which is great. And I think today it's kind of a good sign. It's funny enough, I had my eye on actually finally pulling the trigger to buy Tesla yesterday because it was down like 8%, and I didn't. And it's always hindsight, right? Because today it looks like it's up 5% already today, so that would have been nice. But oh well, in hindsight, that's okay. I know some of the holdings in my ETF are Tesla, so I'm okay. But yeah, such is the case. But everything's doing well today, which is great. So that's nice to see. I invited a friend of mine to come on. He's been on the channel before, Rob. He might be watching, maybe not, but he's actually sick, so he was supposed to come on and join me today. We're gonna have a banter about everything, but we'll schedule that again and get something actually in the schedule. So we'll see. But the headlines look good. Stocks extend gains as investors hope for policy pivot. It's always nice to read. So that's all good. I'm just finishing my coffee before work starts, and we'll jump on. I want to do more of these. So if you like these kind of live streams, it's a good way, I think, for the community to kind of ask some questions and get a little bit more one-on-one or a group. There's always a good group of people in the comments. So once everybody wakes up and kind of sees, I think we'll start to kind of schedule these actually scheduled and get some consistency going. We'll see how that pans out. It's always hard. Sometimes in the mornings, you just don't want to be in front of the computer when you don't have to, but it's always good, especially on days like today. So yeah, it's nice. I think I'll do an update on the channel. I'll probably film one later on today when I have a chance, just to see how the full portfolio is doing. But so we're still going to be in the red, but it's going to be nice to see a bit of an increase over the next few days. So let me know if anybody's planning on buying anything. Did you buy anything today? I haven't. My payday's not not payday. I did last week, but there's never. You always wish that you could have take advantage of certain things when it was a bit lower, but such is the case as we go. And I did have, let me just close off and change the screen here. I had a question from someone that made a comment on one of my posts, and let me just switch the screen. They were asking in the back of my videos what the screensaver I used was, and because they recognized it and from the distance. And let's just see if I can share this and bring it on. There we go. So what this always plays in the background of my videos, and it's just basically the Bitcoin blockchain that goes. So these are all basically all the transactions that are happening live on the Bitcoin network. That's all. You can actually go in if you were so inclined. Let's go here. You can actually go in and see all of the individual transactions that are happening. So as you mouse over them, you can see, and you can see the value. These are all the individual transactions that are in the block. And the bigger they are, obviously, the bigger or the larger the amount. But you can actually go in and see any transaction history, all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of neat. It just kind of grows in the background. That is playing in my background. So this runs on. You can access this basically online to find it. It's called BitFeed, and you can see that. Now, the difference with this one is I actually run a Bitcoin, and I actually run a Bitcoin node on my local network. It's not a miner or anything like that, but it actually runs the node. So all the transactions are verified on a little Raspberry Pi Bitcoin node that I have running plugged into my router. So it's kind of neat. And you can do all the you can do your own transactions on through there and everything else. So there's a Bitcoin wallet that I have on there. So just kind of fun fact. It's kind of neat. You can actually do, and you can actually run the Lightning Network on there, that kind of thing. So kind of interesting. But Sharpshooter, let's jump in here. Hold on here. Let me remove. There's a way to make myself bigger. Let's try this. There we go. We'll leave that running. And there we go. What's your take on Bitcoin? Do you think it's going to rebound? Because a lot of people are thinking it's dead. I don't think it's dead, Sharpshooter. No, not at all. I think it's. I have a bit of investment in it. If you're following the channel, in a couple of ETFs, but I do also own Bitcoin. I have it. I don't have a lot. Like, not like I have a fortune in Bitcoin, but a small percentage. So if you watch the channel, you know that I do like the Shakepay. So I shake every day, and I actually just do a small dollar cost average into Bitcoin, and then just save it on. I have like I can find it here. I transfer it off every once in a while and just save it on my ledger. It does not save it on there. It's on the blockchain, but these are the keys. And I just do. I don't think it's it'll rebound. I think it's a long term. It's a long term like anything. I think it's a long term investment. Will it go to zero? I don't think so. Will it go to $1 million? Who knows? I don't think necessarily anybody does. But that's just like Justin said. Yeah, it's following. It really does. I'm not a chart person, but you can look at and see what happens. If you're watching Candace, I don't know if she's watching. She's probably working or day trading. She had a bit of a does a lot more of the chart stuff, and she had a kind of theory on read the charts on Bitcoin. So I have to dig up her video and post it to the community tab, because she talked about it, I believe, in one of her videos. It might have been on her live stream. I can't remember now. Sorry. But everybody reports it's dead, yeah, I just basically, I don't really share much digital cryptocurrency stuff on my channel, other than because that's the thing with on YouTube. A lot of people are like, go crazy and like, it's going to the moon. It's and I'm not in for that clickbaity stuff on the channel, but I don't think it's dead. I think the technology it's pretty amazing when you actually start reading about it and actually learning about it and how it actually works and what you can do with it. So I just have a small percentage that I dollar cost average into it every day. I don't know. I think there's worse things. I always kind of say it on the channel too. I've left a comment before. There's worse things you can spend your money on, right? Like, do you go, it sounds silly, right? Like the whole avocado toast thing, right? But like, do you go get a coffee every day, or do you spend $5 on Bitcoin and put it away and see what happens? I mean, I wouldn't put all my investments in it by any means. I'm not like all in, but I'm not really all in on anything. So it's interesting, definitely interesting. And we got a good comment from Justin, and I'll get to that. Yeah. Oh, awesome. So your buddy. Oh, thanks. Well, thank your friend for Peaceful Minds. Thanks. Thanks for recommending. Yeah, I'm not, no rash decisions. This is like kind of, I'm not smart. I'm not the smartest trader, right? Just slow and steady and just go with that. I mean, some people don't obviously invest in the same things I do, or I've made mistakes. I've made some good decisions, and you kind of roll with it. There's nothing, I don't, if something's down, I'm kind of a long-term, I'm definitely a long-term investor, and I'm not someone that trades. I probably should learn that a bit better and take some wins when I get them with a few other things. But I'm not going to sell something when it's down right now, especially in the TFSA, because you can't claim. I mean, you definitely can't claim the losses, right? But live and learn. That's the thing. It was this channel was started as a learning experience, and I've learned, and I guess you have to learn the hard way sometimes. And Justin, yeah, too many countries, businesses using it, planning to use it in the future. It's exactly, there's no way it won't grow. And it is growing. It's interesting. There's so many things out there. Like, I mean, Bitcoin's like literally the tip of the iceberg, right? There's so many other digital currencies, NFTs, and so many things. Like it's mind blowing the amount of development that's going on there. It's a lot of it nothing's gonna happen probably, but it's almost like the what I find really interesting to it is the time with it right now is it reminds me of a lot when, because I'm old, or older than maybe a lot of people, but it reminds me of a lot of when the internet first started, and there were so many new technologies and new things, and like, I remember going onto the like internet when you had to dial, you dialed in through your phone, and no one else in the house could talk on the phone. You had to go onto the computer, and you just, whatever you did, you surfed the web, right? You didn't really actually do anything. And this is the thing, like people that said at that time, like, it's a waste of time. It's a waste of time. It's not going anywhere. Who's going to do? And if you look at it today, I mean, this is going back, this is what, 30 years later, 35 years, maybe. It's everywhere, right? Like, we're banking on our phone. We don't even, it's just always, you just go onto your computer and it's there now, and everything is online. So will digital currencies, yeah, countries, I mean, I guess this is the thing. Yeah, it's just going to take, I think what's going to happen, and the time frame of it to take off is going to be when people don't realize they're using it. And that will take time. So there'll be some, I mean, as soon as there's games being built on it, so as soon as people pick up their phone and are using it somehow without knowing they're actually using it, that's when it'll start to take off. So we'll see. And countries, yeah, I mean, look at, there's a great article by the president of El Salvador. And just one thing, I mean, their tourism was up 52% last year. And they figured a lot of it's to do with Bitcoin. So if you're in a country, something like that, yeah, I mean, I think it's just a matter of time. We'll see what happens. As I'm rambling on, sharpshooter, VFE is a good call. Yeah, I'm happy with VFE, VTY. Those are the two main ones I'm just going to stick to. Slowly dollar cost average into that, and just leave it till I retire. Hopefully don't have to dip into it as savings until at least another 10 or so years. But we'll see. You never know what comes along, right? There's always some of these bills that you have to pay that come across on that. So we'll see. Although I am looking forward to, my car is almost paid off, so that will give me some more opportunity to put a little bit more in every month, because I won't have a car payment, which is nice. I drive an old 2016 car. Well, it's not old, it's perfect, it's great. So I won't be, it's always funny because I look at cars all the time and I start pricing them out, because I know in the last little while cars have got very expensive, and they're hard to get and everything else. If you look at the shiny new car, and I start plugging it in, price it out, and I look at my car and I go, no, I'm just going to drive this forever until it dies. So that'll give me some opportunity to put more into VFE and VDY every month. That's the goal. Almost paid off. A few more months, which is nice. It's actually be the first time I've actually owned a car, like actually owned one, because got in that cycle of always wanting to get a latest and greatest thing, but not so much anymore. Sharpshooter Wrestling, stock split. Oh, like the, oh yeah, the stock. Yeah. Yeah. Did you get into them before they all split? I don't know. It's funny. I've been wanting to buy, my one is Tesla, but I haven't bought it individually yet, but I know the Amazon split, Google split. Yeah. But Shopify. Yeah. I'm not sold on Shopify. I know a few people. It's the Canadian technology thing that it's like, I don't know. I don't see I don't know. It's just never intrigued me as a business, even as a business. It just kind of like, eh. But anyways, yeah. So I don't know. I haven't looked at it that closely. I usually kind of get into things that I kind of have an interest in, like in terms of what they're doing, in terms of what the actual business is. And Shopify was just kind of like, eh. But that's just me. Oh, okay. So you got them. Yeah. Good. Yeah. It's awesome. I mean, they might split again in the future. You might get it. I mean, it's all relative, right? It works out to be the same price, but, and yeah, fractionals. Yeah. I just have this weird thing. I don't know. I guess, I mean, I do have fractional shares because I do have like I do have some other investments, right? My RSP. If you watch the channel, I don't know how far you went back in the videos, but I have RSP and I have an old company pension from a company I used to work for, and it's all fractional, so it's not too bad. It's kind of nice those, because I just like my RSP. There's zero emotion with these, like when you invested in a fractional portfolio like Wealthsimple on the invest side, because you just put your deposit every 2 weeks and you don't almost pay attention. It takes a lot of the emotion out of it, that's for sure, more so. Yeah, I agree with that. It was like the Canadian, like, kind of darling run up. Like, it's crazy the price, what it went up to, but and it's yeah, it was just insanity. It was a lot of those though, Justin. There was a lot of like those ones that had the run up in the pandemic that were like kind of like Peloton was one of them, like even like Netflix, stuff like that. Everything. I mean, again, it was like everything. Everybody stayed at home and invested on, I guess, with all their money they weren't spending. And it's interesting on that note about like with the pandemic and stuff like that. And I was reading an article yesterday that in Canada, a lot of the savings now that people had are down. So I guess everybody's started spending the money on in the last, year and a half or so. Before you couldn't, now you can. So that everybody obviously rates are higher. So if you had debt or like, that kind of stuff, or took on larger debts, that would be covered, that would be probably eating into your savings. So for some people, but people are out in restaurants more, out buying more stuff, and hence inflation, I guess, right? That's how it works. Instead of buying stocks. So stocks inflated before, now it's actual goods. And yeah, I know I should, okay, what I'll do next deposit, I'll have to just get into and buy like a just for everybody to finally, to say I can finally bought a fractional shares, is just buy one. I'll do that next time. And Telus and RioCan, yeah, I'm happy. Telus is, I think, everybody's favorite Canadian. There's a Canadian company that is doing okay. That's like the channel favorite is Telus. Everybody likes Telus. And yeah, side hustle, passive income. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, yeah, it was interesting times, I'm sure. I mean, I work from home, and I'd worked from home already. So this isn't really anything new to me, Justin, but yeah. And a lot of people started to do little other things on the side. I mean, I have, well, this channel wasn't started when 2020 hit, but I had another I have another YouTube channel, and that's where a lot of the, like, speaking of side hustles, that's kind of how I started this channel. I have another channel that is monetized, and I get a little bit coming in every month from that. And what I was starting to do, what you would do is you just blow it, right? You're like, oh, extra money, let's go buy something. And I thought, okay, well, no, I'm going to start to kind of roll. Like if I can make this is like extra free money. I mean, it's still work. Side hustles are still work, and then move it over and start to roll that into some of my investments. That was kind of the goal. And then this channel just kind of going from that. So that's what I'll eventually do. So for this, like now that this channel that you're watching, obviously you're watching this, you're watching me. This channel isn't monetized yet. I have 1,000 subscribers. I still need the watch hours. So you need to have 4,000 watch hours to get monetized and 1,000 subscribers for YouTube. 4,000 hours in the last 365 days. So what I'll start to do now with this one is once I start to get monetized, I'll just roll that right into investments. And I kind of will do some fun, maybe some fun stuff with that, because you get paid monthly. I kind of treat it, it's kind of like free. It's not free money, but it's kind of like extra. You wouldn't normally have it for a little bit of work. And I'll probably start to do like little kind of things with the community in terms of what I should invest, like what we should invest in, what I should kind of go into. Like one thing would be fractional shares. Like I never buy fractional shares, but with some suggestion, I'll give that a try from Sharpshooter's suggestion. And yeah, but again, dollar cost. I mean, just dollar cost average. I mean, you can watch it every day. That's the hard part. I mean, that's the one thing. If I wasn't doing a channel on investing, I would still. This is the thing. It's always on your phone, right? And I think that's a little bit when you see a lot of these places, like we did take a big dive, and I know there's a lot more retail people in the market, and that's probably part of the big drop too. Is when it's easy to get scared, right? And it's on your phone. You're like, okay, I'm down. And because now it's so, you're not just you used to, I'm going to still date myself again. You still get statements, but like your investment statements, you used to get them every quarter. You still get them every quarter, but now it's so easy to go online and check. Again, back here, we're talking about the internet. It's so easy to just go online and see it live, right? And then I think a lot of people panic, right? And they panic sell and get out when, I mean, it'll go back. You just can't worry about it. There's riskier ones, right? I've got them in my portfolio that maybe they won't, or maybe it's a longer term possible investment. So we'll see. And yeah, everybody just go put them on loop. Yeah, and just leave it. Turn the sound down, then you won't get sick of my voice, right? Yeah, you could. I appreciate everybody that does watch it, and it's. I was talking about this a little bit in the last live stream, Justin, and the channel's the subscriber, like you can see all your statistics in YouTube, and the video views from subscribers is off the charts. It's amazing. Like over 50% of the people that are viewing my channel are subscribed. So it's great. Like that's really good. But the videos are also very time kind of like not sensitive, but they're a snapshot in time, right? So there's not necessarily incentive for people to go back to watch older videos, because if it's just an update, you can go back to see where I was a month ago or something like that, but it's more so to go forward. So the community's building, and that's all I could hope for. So, and yeah, that's it. That's like the secret. That's the secret to investing is this dollar cost average. Don't try and time it. Don't be smart. Don't time anything. Don't put it all in one thing. Just dollar cost average. It's pretty simple, actually, if you think about it. And don't panic. That sometimes is harder to do than others, but these great questions and comments. I love kind of jumping in here. It's better than, I love the comments, the typing comments, but it's easier to kind of get them going. And I'm down. Oh, some of this got cut off. So let me just read over here. Down. Yeah, some of your comment got cut off there, Sharpshooter, but yeah, I read it all, and it's true. It's down. You have to think of your time frame, right? And this is what I don't think a lot of people necessarily do. You always want it to go up, right? It's just like, yeah, it makes it so you feel better, right? But it's if your time frame is 10 years, what do we care right now, really? If we're doing slow, steady dollar cost averaging, just not trying to, I'm not trying to day trade and anything like that. So it's kind of like take advantage of the days that are red if it's something that you have a long-term investment goal on. Yeah. But October is looking good, so we can at least we get that. Maybe we'll have a decent October. It seems nice, and I think rates, obviously rates are going to still raise. Are they going to slow? What's everybody's kind of take on this now? I mean, everywhere's pointing to like trying to nudge. I mean, we talk about the states, but nudging the Fed to stop raising rates or slow down at raising rates. Even the UN has come out and said, don't raise rates so hard and fast. And I read today that Australia central bank only raised 25 basis points. So it's kind of like good, bad news. So it's like slowing down. So maybe next time here, Canada, is it December, I believe? No, or is it this month? October 26th, I think. Could be completely wrong, but October 26th. But we'll see. Maybe they'll slow down. Maybe they'll slow down the hikes, and maybe that's what the market's kind of predicting here. We'll see. And you're typing long comments, Sharpshooter. I have to look on the side because it doesn't print them all up on the screen. Yeah, that's exactly it. I'll read it out for people that can't quite see it all. It sucks to be seeing the red on the daily, but no panic. Dollar cost average, and just know one day it'll be green and multiplied by the shares picked up when they were lower. Exactly. That's it. Don't it's almost too, because you see it going up today, right? And it's like, oh, FOMO, I gotta get in. That's what causes the prices to go up too. You can just wait, be patient, stick to a schedule, I guess. I try and do, I don't know if it's the best day or not, but it's typically like, if I typically do a deposit now, it's typically on Fridays. Just so happens because I get paid on Fridays. So if I have some extra funds to be able to divert into the TFSA, I'll do it on a Friday, and it's kind of like I'll buy whether it's up or down, because it's just eventually it'll all even itself out, I think. That's my thing. That's yeah, I think it seems to. I mean, stuff is still expensive out there. I mean, we talked about inflation on a few live stream backs with my friend Rob, and that's what I wanted to bring on again. But he'll come back. He's just not feeling well, and we talked about inflation, and stuff is expensive. But I think people are now starting to feel that like it's almost like it's that lag, right? And I think with the rates, obviously rates going up, it takes a while for it to start to actually take effect, and we're seeing now the results of that. So I think, yeah, I mean, food is still expensive, but we're seeing things like you're reading about, like if you go drive by a car lot now, you actually can see cars in the lot. So people aren't buying cars as much, it looks like, because it's expensive, right? Like it's because the interest rates went up in cars. So it's going to slow. This takes a while to slow things down. So maybe we will see a smaller increase, and that will help our portfolios for sure, because people will see that as a bit of a pivot. I just realized I had the Bitcoin thing going still. Let me remove that, unless you're getting transfixed by watching that all the time. But I think, yeah, it's only 25, right? It's hard to say, but I know it's getting tough out there for people. Like a lot of people are getting pinched, but I think it's pain. That's for sure. Let's take another. Yeah, I can pull in my. I don't have my portfolio open, but I can confidently say that everything is in the. Everything looks like it's in the green today, so that's always nice. log in. It's got to send me a code. Yeah, accept that one. That's a really interesting, I mean, it had a lot of hype. I was up on it for a bit too. This is one of the learning things. And I think I should have sold it, but you get greedy, right? So a learning experience. I never put that much into it. And I've said it in comments and stuff. Like I've spent $100, you know, what do I have? $200 on it. I think I put in. I've spent $200 on worse things. So over my course of my life. So it's like live and learn and learning experience. There we go. So, yeah, but I found that company really interesting in what the technology, like what they were doing. Now, if it can work, I think the idea of this one, hopefully it will get bought out or something like that. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to sell it. There's no point in selling it now. It's only worth $10. So we'll ride it out, and I'll keep it there as a reminder to not to sell when you're up in a little bit. One sharpshooter, one I actually made a little bit of money on was Cineplex. That was the one I had in my portfolio. It was up a lot, and then it went back down, and then came back up, and I sold it for a bit of a profit. So I'll take that as a little bit of a win. Learning. But I mean, I'm not using my TFSA. I'm not trading, obviously. And that was it. Yeah, the old CEO. Yeah. And they do have some new management. They're making some changes to their operations. We'll see. Yeah, I think they've kind of misled in terms of how far along in the process they were. Maybe in 5 or 10 years, if they're not like out of business, it'll be maybe we'll make some money. We'll see how this happens. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm not really too worried. It's not like I had all my whole everything on it. So we'll see what happens. And down 1,400. Yeah, that hurts too. Yeah, but that's the thing with these little small caps, right? Like they're risky. But if you're, I mean, not giving anybody advice to buy anything, but if one takes off, you can make quite a bit of money. But it's luck, a lot of it. And I'm sure there's people out there that have been trading this thing the whole time. These like people that are smart and can read what's going on. They probably made a fortune in between times. So such it is. Better it is to buy and hold VDY and BFB. I was just logging in to check my. It has to send me a code because I haven't. And it hasn't sent me a code. Oh, here we go. It's kind of annoying, this 2-factor authorization all the time. And I just gotta wait. Punch it in. Let's see if we are actually all in the green. The only thing, Cielo's CMC is actually up today, 7%, 7.69. There we go. We can take that as a win. The only thing that's not is ETC. That's the evolved cryptocurrency, but I find that one lags, which is interesting about that. So I don't know if there's some opportunity there or not, because like if you look at the cost of, I'm just looking here, if you look at the cost of Ethereum, it's up 2% and Bitcoin's up about 3.78%. But ETC is down. It hasn't traded a lot, but it's down. It's a down 0.21%. So it's basically flat today. So why isn't it up? I don't know. That's what I don't know. So maybe that's one to kind of get, because it seems like it's kind of sometimes there's some lag between like the coin price and actually what happens with ETFs. We'll see. And yeah, so CMC, there we go. Leave it. Just leave it. Yeah. Yeah, and the tech. It was I found it interesting. Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, if it works at scale. That's the big if. And yeah, everybody, VFV is up $2. Let's see. VFV. Yeah, it is. There we go. Yeah, so it's a good day. Uptober. We're calling it Uptober this month. And the dividends on that are actually, yeah, if you can handle, if you're in it, if you're in it for the long haul and can handle the volatility in between, it's got good dividends. Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's cheap right now. People think I get a lot of comments on the channel thinking I'm crazy to own it. But we'll see. It could be the smartest play of the ever, or it could be the worst. I don't know, but I don't think we talked about it before. I think it's a good to have a small percentage of your investment into a digital asset of some kind, and Bitcoin. Bitcoin's the easiest. It's the easiest to understand, I find, because there's a lot of the other stuff out there is if you like, Bitcoin right now actually hasn't been like, it actually did better last month than the S&P. So go figure. Average is over 7. Yeah, I don't know what let me look at what my average is. Thanks for all these comments again. This is great. It's nice to jump in and just chat. Let's see. My average is actually okay. 434. Yeah. So that's all right. Oh, and it looks like I just logged in. It looks like I got a dividend. Weird. Showing I have more money than I thought I had in there. $8. I must have got a dividend of some kind. I should buy more. Oh, yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. It is. I'm just kind of not going to hype it. Anything. There's lots of, like, the YouTube thing. It's just kind of nice to hang out. We're all just regular investors. Not going to sell anything, hopefully, to the moon. Oh, it's a Telus. Oh, good call. Let me see. I didn't get it. It's funny because I didn't get an email. And let's check here. And it hasn't shown in my TFSA. I sometimes wish they had a better app. Oh, good call. Telus dividend, $6.09. There we go. Go check your portfolios. Yeah, it's Telus. So sharpshooter. Yeah, it was Telus. It didn't show up when I went to the app. It didn't show up in my activity. But it did. I refreshed it and it popped up. So yeah. So everybody go check your Telus. So that's all nice. So I have to buy something with that. I don't know what I'll buy, but what was the fractional share I was going to buy? Tesla. I'll wait for a deposit on that though. Yeah, I won't get that. With $6.09 isn't going to get me very much, especially with the exchange rate right now. That's for sure. The US dollar. Funny enough, the one investment that's doing the best for me is, and I know some people have been following along, is the Wealthsimple venture fund, which hasn't done anything. I'll do an update when I get another kind of something happen with the account. It hasn't done anything. They haven't pulled anything out of it to do anything. I think I should reach out really, but I haven't because right now that it's sitting in a US dollar high interest savings ETF. And with the US dollar right now, it's up like 8%, 7%. It was up almost 8%. So I'm actually debating, because my initial investment was going to be just like the minimum $5,000, but I'm up on it. So I'm thinking about taking some out and then just firing it like into my RSP or something like that. Instead, maybe the TFSA, but probably just RSP because it's going to be a gain. I do have room in my RSP, so we'll see. But it's doing okay, so I'm happy. So I haven't like sent an email going, "Hey, what's going on? What are you doing with this?" So just the way the US dollar is, it actually worked out. One of my investments actually worked out. So you just got a new share. So Justin, what do? You get your dividend and then you just top it up to buy a new one, or do you just buy a fractional with it? That would be, if you let me know, that'd be kind of great. Because there's quite a few, and there we go. Yeah, so you could put it fractional right back into Telus. I guess I could do that. I'll do that. How much did I get from it? 609. I have some other sitting there. Update. And I think does it not? Does fractional shares not settle by the end of the day, right? Yeah, okay, let's do this. So I've got 848. I'll just put it all in. So the Telus one was $6 something. And continue. I'll get 0.2986 estimated. And I'll save the share. I'll post it on my community tab. All right, there we go. Done. 848. Thanks, sharpshooter. There we go. I guess it settles later, right? I guess. Yeah. There we go. Uptober. Yeah, Uptober. Coke and Bank of America. Oh, okay. Use Quest Trade. Go $50. Oh, okay. Yeah, I should really look at. I mean, yeah. I wish Wealthsimple kind of. I wish you could set that up. But so, Justin, do you have that in your TFSA or is it in your? How does that? I guess you can reinvest you can reinvest the dividend without affecting your what am I trying to say here? Your limit. It's only when you make a deposit into it, right? Yeah. Okay. So it just rolls. And it would be nice if Wealthsimple had that. You could just like turn it on for certain stocks and ETFs, because a lot that's kind of what I do. A lot of times, I mean, I don't have enough. No, I guess I would do it, because if something's coming in from BTC.Y, it'd be nice to just kind of roll it in without. I mean, I want to do it anyways, but a lot of times I just kind of don't put it all into that. I put in something else because I don't have enough, or I haven't. So that would be a good. I should just. So I'm guessing this is kind of nice actually, because I start working things out in my head and talking to people. I guess I should probably like just start doing that as they come in, instead of like I always kind of like always did the full share. We'll see. I guess there's no wrong way to necessarily do it. It's just different for everybody. But it'd be nice if Wealthsimple had that option, especially for the ETFs, because you would just roll it in. Maybe not the individual shares if you just want to have like me, like an individual share, but with some of those ETFs, like why not? Oh, so there we go. If you do before 12 Vancouver time, it counts for today. After 12, okay, goes in tomorrow. So it must go in kind of the end of like 12. Well, 12 o'clock would be kind of more towards the end of the trading day. So they must have to like just compile them all in, right? The computers do what they'd have to do. That makes sense. Yeah. I don't know what I was thinking there. I started thinking about it. Like, yeah, obviously your dividends are going there. Yeah. That was kind of a silly, my mind blank. Yeah. You just can't take it out. If you take it out, well, you can take it out, but you can't put it back in, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I still have a ton of room. This is my only TFSA. I still have like, how much room does I still have a ton of room left. I could still put in another, like 55, like 50. What is it? What's the limit right now? 68 altogether if you start at the beginning? I'd have to double check. I've got tons of room. Yeah. Oh, okay. So they don't charge commission. Yeah. 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 I guess there's pros and cons to everything. I just found Wealthsimple very simple. And when I started with them, it's because I transferred an investment in. I had an old lira from a company, and when you leave the company, you have to move it out of there, like it's not in there anymore, right? And I had it somewhere else, and the fees every month were just insane. And it's sitting there. I mean, it's obviously it's investing and everything else. It receives dividends. It's like everything else. It's split how you want to do it. But the fees were more than, like, you total it up, what I'd make was spending it in even a month on the monthly fees was outrageous. So I moved it into Wealthsimple. That was kind of the idea. Oh, I was way off. 81K. I don't know where I got 68 from. So I got tons of room. I could put about $70,000. It'll never happen. Not anytime soon. And so thanks, Sharpshooter. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for joining. Keep watching those videos. We'll get that watch time up. I appreciate it, though. It's great. Have a good day. I know I don't know where you're from, but it's almost 9:30. It's almost time to get to work. We'll go to about 9:30, a few more minutes, but thanks. And that's exactly it. You actually look, and this is a good thing to kind of look at, and I'll have to maybe do a stream on budgeting, talk about budgets and stuff, because you start to look at all these things, right? And this is the thing, like everything's more expensive, right? Food's more expensive, everything, inflation. And you start looking at your monthly costs of certain things. And if you can, I mean, this is probably one thing that people don't necessarily look at very closely, is how much actual commission and fees your bank, wherever, is charging you every month. And it can be substantial when you start adding all these things up. And it goes to, like, when it goes to, yeah, that's exactly it. It's always hidden, right? It's like they try and show you how much money you made. It's like smoke and mirrors. Like, oh, by the way, you paid $70 this month in investment fees for managing your portfolio, whatever, right? And that adds up. Like my investment went down. It was in my lira. I'd have to look, Justin. Like it went down substantially with what I was paying. I want to say roughly per month, like $40, something like that. So add that into something that I can't add money to. So the only capital appreciation is what I have with the dividends and the growth. Like there's no, it reinvests everything as you go, but I can't like take advantage of, regular deposits, dollar cost averaging, all that kind of stuff is sitting there. And it's costing me more per month than I'd be pretty much making in. And now if I had it in the same place, I'd be like so far paying for, just the costs. So stuff to look at, and stuff to look at. 65. There you go. Good call. 6,500 for TFSA next year. That's my goal every year now, is to kind of I can't max it out. I'm not even close, but to try and max out how much I'm allowed. But in budgeting, you look at other things and what the monthly costs of everything are, and it's crazy. So just go through your statements and go through and look and see where you can save. Because if you can save $5 or $10 somewhere, or cancel something, save yourself $10-20 a month on something. You got Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus. What are some other ones, right? And it's like cut off one of them or two of them, and you save yourself some money and fire it into your investment. So there we go. But this was fun, everybody. Let's do one last check. We're still green, still good. I think we'll have a decent. Maybe this will continue for the week. We'll see if it will carry forward, which is nice. It's nice to be able to kind of, you get these days like today. Well, tomorrow it'll be like in the dumper again, and we'll all be crying the blues. But it's nice to kind of know what you're doing is you're on the right track, I guess, with investments. That's how I kind of feel. You look at things some days and you're like, oh, what's going to happen? But you wait for those, it's going to, it just keeps rolling along and everything hopefully will work out in the end. That's my kind of theory. I don't, and go from that. So max out. Yeah. That's nice. Save some money. And so that's all good. Let's pull up that. It's always fun to look at before we end it off. What's the price doing? 20,000. That's US. So yeah, everybody's buying it. What's interesting is how kind of flat, for the most part, Bitcoin's been for the last like months and months. It's kind of been hovering around that price. We'll get up a little bit, but then it comes back down. Obviously that's where the sort of volatility are. But a dollar cost average, that's what I do. And that's it. And I guess that works because you can max out. Can you put spousal TFSA? I haven't looked at that. Or can you just do spousal RSP? I'm not a financial person, so I know a little bit, but not fully. I think you can put into the RSP. Can you do, Justin? Can you still do a spousal TFSA? I guess. I could probably look. It's Google. You get those silly questions like, what's this? And then you're like, oh, I guess I could just look myself. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so it's two separate. Yeah, that's what I thought. I think it's different. Oh, I'm thinking of the maybe like the RESP, Education Savings Funds. So you can put that's for your kids, obviously, if you have kids. So, oh yeah, only income stream with spousal RSP. So there you go. I'm not a tax person. I have an accountant. Let them figure it out. I don't know how accountants could do. I could never be an accountant, believe me. I couldn't do it. It's too confusing. Especially when they change. And then RSPs, yeah, RSPs. There's that new one. What's that new and the one that's going to start, which is kind of silly. They have the home buyers RSP, but there's a new one like home down payment, something or other. I don't know. That doesn't seem as great as it. If you don't have money to put into, Oh, there we go, Justin. So school financial money. There you go. So you must be okay. So you're smart with money. There you go. Good for you. I always found I'm obviously not a professional with investments, but I always found I'm obviously a bit more advanced than someone that's not has no financial literacy. I don't know what the right word would be, but it's I always found when you go to the bank or wherever and you talk to somebody, the investment advisors don't always know what they're talking about. And they're always trying to sell you what's in there. So it's kind of nice to do your own thing, I find, because I enjoy it. And then there's no one to blame but yourself if you make wrong decisions or whatever. But and then also too with financial, it's like anything, like the good ones, they move around or something, right? Especially with banks and stuff, you'll find like the good people get promoted and then they're gone, and then you get thrown in with someone else. Like that's kind of one of the reasons I switched my investment over. I had an investor, and then I moved out of, I changed provinces. So the investor is like, well, I can't manage your portfolio anymore. We have to transfer you to this other person. And the other person was a dud. And she just didn't even, I mean, not that I have a huge investment portfolio, but she didn't do anything. That was kind of part of the reason that I was, the one I had, he was great. The new one, she called me, I think, and it's like, oh yeah, I'm going to give you a call back and we'll go over your stuff. I'm like, okay, great. Never called back. So I just moved everything. And it is, yeah, it's used because you have to use it for down payment only. I guess it's maybe for somebody that has already, because you can take out your TFSA tax free for whatever you want, and you can take out your RSP, $35,000 per person. So maybe it's for people that have maxed out everything, and they can start something else to be able to take it out for down payment. But it's like, if you're saving for a house too, this is the thing about it. Like if you're saving for a house, I mean, look at the market the last year. It's down like 20%. Like, let's be realistic. Bonds and like everything is down. So if you had your house, like house savings and anything, even safe bonds, it's down. So if you're saving for a down payment for a house, it's almost like you just want it in a regular savings account. Like I don't see I don't know how the taxes work for that one, Justin, but it's like, just put it in a regular savings account, let it sit, or GIC or something. I don't know. This is my theory. I don't know if you want to play the market with your house deposit. And it's limited to 40. The hard part is like, it's so hard to buy housing. Like it's so, even now it's coming down in prices, you read, but it's just hard to save, and it's hard to save money, right? So you can RSPs, TFSA, now you have the down payment account. It's like, where's all this money going to come from to fill it? But such as it is, it sounds good on paper. Guess that's the government for us. Say no more. So it's tax-free. Okay. Tax-free growth, like say you get taxes, but you can only use it for your home purchase. So I'm going to assume if you withdraw it for another reason, you get withholding tax, much like an RSP, if you took it out without buying a house. So it's like, you have to use it for a house, I guess. Sounds good on paper to fix the housing problem, but it's not to fix it. But anyways, I digress. Anyways, let's So it's just kind of like whatever, nothing. It's kind of a big nothing burger announcement. I think that's probably why it hasn't launched yet. Like they should have just upped the RSP limit or something like that, because now the government has to set up a brand new, it's so getting sidetracked here. The government have to set up like a whole new type of account, reporting for all the institutions, just more work. Why not just up the RSP? I don't know. That's just me. Oh, but I guess the difference would be the RSP one, you have to pay back into your RSP, but the home buyer one, I'm going to assume you don't have to pay that back. So you get those. Okay. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I still think it's not a great, maybe for the right person, maybe Justin, but you wouldn't have to pay it back, because the RSP one, you have to pay back over 15 years. So could go both ways. We'll see. how that goes. Anyways, it's 9:30. I got to get to work. Hopefully everybody, we've been going for an hour. Time flies when we're yapping and having fun. I just want to thank everybody who is watching on live. If you're watching this on the replay, I'll keep it on the channel on the replay. Not as fun to watch lives on the replay. I'll give you that. So you're probably not watching you're probably not to the end here. We'll catch to the end. And we'll jump onto that, though it is I guess anything helps. Anything is better than trying nothing, right? So yeah, we'll leave it at that. It might work for some people, and if it can help one person, right? That's great. It's not for me, I know that, but but maybe it'll help some young people. And I think if young people learn to save, that's probably a good thing. I always was a bit of a saver, but you can always do better. And I wish I was able to do better. I would have been in a lot better position in the future. But obviously when you're younger, you spend money on stupid things. But you learn that as you get older. But anyways, I just want to thank everybody for jumping on this last minute impromptu live stream. Have good banter. We'll do more of these. These are fun. It's kind of a nice way to have a morning coffee. 9:30 on the West Coast here. I don't know where everybody is watching from. So you're probably, if you're starting work, have a good work day. Go check your portfolio if you haven't checked it yet already. And thanks for watching. We'll catch you all in the next one. I'll do a video update later on today when I have a chance to film it to show you how the portfolio is doing. And leave it at that. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Justin. Thanks for all the chat, Sharpshooter Wrestling, a few others that I probably will miss from scrolling back up here. So thanks for joining. We'll catch you all in the next live stream. Appreciate it.